What's up, gang? All right, let's discuss this one real quick this morning. The will of God. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That is a centerpiece of the Lord's Prayer. Okay? So, does that include in between your ears? Does that include in your thinking? Thy will be done on earth as it is. As it is. It's not as it was, not as it's going to be. It's as it is in heaven. I believe that would include your thinking. Last night I was guest speaker and listener. Because I always kind of like to ask the Lord, so Lord, I'm going over here and I know you're leading me over here to speak to these people. I know you're going to give me the words to say, but what are we listening for, too? And he let me know. And I got into a little listening conversation. Called a listening conversation. I'm not speaking too much, I'm listening. And seeing, just seeing where these people are at in their thinking. Brothers and sisters in Christ, believers. And they're hurting, actually. Had one guy said he experienced a lot of condemnation, so you know who that's coming from. Saddened about things he'd done in his past. That's condemnation. Surely the devil reminded him of that, probably provoking him into, putting him in a place of making him think he's not even worthy of the Father's love. He was just one example, but it boiled down to everybody agreeing with having dominant factors, thoughts in their thinking that lean towards fear, doubt. From the fear and the doubt come the anxiousness. Watch the manifestation now. Based on what ifs of tomorrow, having those thoughts in the head, and then making a plan to implement the thoughts that come from the fears and the doubts and the anxiousness and what ifs of tomorrow, and implement it the next day, carry the burden thereof. That's the pattern. All of them at bottom age of 20 to, I think one of the oldest ones was 40 something. But they all thought the same way. So I said, well, I used to think that way too. So the question was, who taught you to think that way? Number one, who taught you that's even normal? So then we go back into several things. With that, your upbringing and your thinking, where it came from, who taught you what they taught you, you know, all that. And then who taught you it's even is even acceptable? Everybody just lives that way, just the way it is. If that's what you're led to believe, you've been deceived. I lived like that for a long time. So, the next question was, okay, since we're all agreed upon that that's a way of thinking and a way of living, who taught us that? We can chew on that a little bit. What's it all according to? Where's the root of it? Even with good intentions, good convictions, and good morals. Where's the root of it come from? Sinful nature of Adam. And what's built into that nature? Self-reliant living. The most subtle form of pride there is. Very deceptive. Really? Yep. had to flip it over just a little. Who did Jesus rely upon? Himself or his Father? Huh. And we're just going to put ourselves on this side of Jesus. We ain't even worried about nobody in the Old Testament. We're in the New Testament. Let's get on the other side of Jesus. Huh. Who did he rely upon? His Father. Whose will did he do? His Father's. Do you think he did it in between his ears? You better know it. You better bet your sweet tail he did. Now, with that being said, we got Jesus, who is teaching or fishing. That's what I like to say. Told Peter he'd be teaching, be fishers of men. In the scriptures, we see him fishing himself. But he's fishing with those who will go ahead and qualify themselves when he says, "Come to me." He's speaking to the people. Oh, how many people were there that day? There's a bunch of them there. All ye who are weary and burdened. Weary and burdened. Where? In your soul. In your thinking. It's internal he's talking about. Because he says, "Come to me, all ye who are weary and burdened. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For my yoke is easy, my burden is light, and I will give you rest for your soul." So he's after what's internal. But the yoke that's on him has got him weary and burdened in the first place. Because he's looking to place a different one on him. So, who put the yoke on him? It's probably derived from their thinking. And who taught them to think the way they're thinking? That was my point. Same thing with us. So, I said, anybody in here sick and tired of being sick and tired? Kind of like Jesus was asking them. Y'all sick and tired of being sick and tired? You think that's the only way you got to go about living your everyday life? What's going on in your head carrying that burden? Is that it? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, includes in between your ears. Don't sound like there's too much freedom in that and what you're doing. Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. He came so we can have life and have it more abundantly. He didn't say he came so we can have fear and doubt and anxiousness and worry and what ifs of tomorrow and have it more abundantly. What if there's another way? Is it possible? Do you think it's even possible is what I asked. Is there another way? They said, yeah, man, I don't think it's possible. I said, okay, good. I said, how about we dig into it and look and see what's possible? I said, let's do this. We're after what? The will of God. Where? In between our ears. Is that what we're after? We've given a firm foundation and belief in seeing what self and how it's stacked up and like how it likes to do things. And that kind of thinking, carnal-minded, sinful nature of Adam, just all built into that. So I took a marker on a board and I put, rejoice always, pray continually, and be thankful in all circumstances. Parentheses. Why? For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you or concerning you. The will of who? God. Where? On earth. Where else? Those three things are done in between your ears. Now, let's take rejoicing always, and let's take praying continually, and let's just take that bread. Thank you, Father, for our daily bread. Let's take that bread, slide it off the table, and let's leave being thankful in all circumstances on the table. And let's take a little piece of it. And let's see if we can start building a foundation with it and get very good at it. And the assignment that was given to me, I gave to them. 100 things to be thankful for. Yes. The minimum of 10 things a day. 10 days to do it because his commands are not burdensome. Just like any loving parent wouldn't burden their children with some crazy commands and weigh them down. Our loving Father, he's the same way. But he wants you to learn something. And he wants you to get very good at it, just like a loving parent would advise their children to get good at tying their shoes or folding their clothes, because it's just part of daily life, right? Right. Daily living requires daily thinking. If you're going to do the will of God, and He has given us His Word so we can implement that into our living, because we got to implement it in our thinking. And then we discussed a few things about the 100 things to be thankful for, 10 a day. It's building a foundation to be able, if your eyes are open, you can be thankful in every second of every day, no matter what's going on. You can. He actually calls us to it and advises us to do it. And if you're being thankful, watch this. Does fear have any room? Does doubt have any room? Does the what ifs of tomorrow thoughts have any room? Does moving according to those thoughts of condemnation, fear, doubt, anxiousness, what ifs of tomorrow, does moving, taking action to make a plan according to those crazy thoughts have dominion over you anymore if you're being thankful in all circumstances? No. So in all actuality, you're on your way to freedom and doing the will of your Heavenly Father in between your ears, and getting off of the playing field of your life that you think and believe that you're supposed to run, control, and make sure everything's okay, when He is the one who wants to show Himself strong on your behalf, because you trust Him more than you trust in all of that other junk that's going on up there in your head. It's very powerful, and it's a way to freedom. The battlefield of the mind is real, but our Father has given us His Word so that we can win on it. No thought for tomorrow. He's advised us of these things. Keep your mind stayed on Him, and He'll keep you in perfect peace because you trust Him. All of that stuff with that fear and that doubt and that anxiousness and condemnation and worry and what ifs of tomorrow, that comes from the fact that you trust yourself more than you trust Him. That's the fact of the matter. So I advised him of that last night. I sowed that seed, and I gave him that one little assignment. And 2 of them wrote it down. I saw them write it down. And one of them told me that he had been praying for an angel to come, or somebody, God to send somebody that would help him with what he was struggling with. And one of his was condemnation and that fear and that doubt, and he thanked me. And I told him he didn't need to thank me. I said, just thank him. I said, because he'll send a messenger. Whoever he's going to send, however he's going to send them. It's just the start of a foundation that can be built so y'all can be free. If you're living with anything that we just talked about and described as that as a professing Christian, you're not getting it. You're not free, okay? You're just not. All right? But you can be. You can visit us at www.hiswillnotmineministry.com. The Lord has willed me to learn a lot of stuff that He's taught me to do according to His Word so I could be free. And He's willing me to teach others so we can get them free, so we can go about living our everyday lives in divine carelessness, just as any child of the Most High God should have a right to do, because Jesus said, I came so y'all can have life and have it more abundantly. And if you're living with all that other junk, you ain't getting it. We've written a couple books about it, Spirit versus the Flesh, Trusting and Yielding to Him who is Love, and within those books, pearls of wisdom that come from His Word, my personal experiences of what I was like, what happened, and what I'm like now, and all the epiphany bridges in between. It's priceless. MasterCard can't pay for it. But a little bit of money that somebody might spend on a book like that and take it and implement it into their lives, what's in those books? You can live free, and you can do the will of God in between your ears. You can do it on earth as it is in heaven, and walk, live every day, guided by His Spirit. Because the Bible tells us those who are led by the Spirit of God, these are the sons of God. And we'll be back.